suppose on a particular web app here, right?
Mm.
You have your own this thing, and then you have
Mm.
entered a master ledger, and this next education has been entered here as an this thing. So this is on my tally machine, and then
Yeah.
this thing. So here, sir, what we have done is for this particular case, what we have done is we have used an XML format,
Mm.
right? So now for doing this XML format, sir, I'll just now go because my flow is being changed here. So what I will do here is I will, I will now go to the separate folder, and I will show you what is how exactly the XML, format actually takes place. Right, just one second. Just one second, tally. Right. So basically, we'll be using the XML format to actually, sorry, my apologies, I put in the wrong folder. So this is the import format, right? So we will
Mm.
be importing the masters as well as exporting the masters. Correct.
Masters went the ledgers, right? COI
My
ledgers, right?
these are ledgers. So what we would be doing here is that we'll be using the Python script. We'll be using, so your client has to have Tally as a web server operating.
Mm.
So if for your client to be able to import the data as a web server, you know, what we would be doing is we'll have to go here, we'll have to go to settings, we'll have to go to settings, we'll have to go to connectivity, client server, both. So this has to operate as a web server. If it is none, or if it is this thing, then the system will not work.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a prerequisite of the web server applications for me to data. So I'll be using it as a web server, and then based on, I will be giving you various ledgers, right? Ledger formats and all, right? For all kinds of this thing. Yeah, there's someone else there. Okay. So I'll be then taking up all the different kinds of voucher types which will be coming in, and this is actually the masters. So I will be understanding what are the company name, the masters, and so forth, and then inserting into the tally using the XML request. So this is a ready-made Python script.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Uh-huh.
So this I'm assuming will come from your database or your JSON API. So we
Uh-huh.
can actually have a Python script which connects either with the database or with the JSON API. So now, like here, what is happening is if I execute this, this will be actually a web form. So he'll enter it in that particular web form. He'll enter the company name and it'll go inside.
Okay, so he below there is some kind. I can see some XML formats, header version. This is the actual XML output, right?
Right. So this actually is going to be, so what we will be doing is, so where my expertise would be, we understand the XML format very well. What are
Uh,
the this thing? So what we would be doing is we'll be taking that XML format, and based on your API request, we'll be replacing it with various variable names.
so if we give this XML output of the data, we'll be able to import automatically. So is it like
No.
this script has to run
XML
somewhere?
output will come from Tally. So Tally is accepting it as an XML output. So for
Okay.
example, Tally exports the data as an XML. For example, if I take it up a
So
daybook
now
here.
you're talking about a data push from Tally to Web server,
No,
right?
sir, no. From your application to Tally. That's what I said, na, right now.
From our application Tally means we only are going to give the data, right? We will be giving in XML format, right?
Right. Suppose I say, because there's a certain, you will be giving it in JSON format, or will be connecting it with your database. I can pick it up anyway.
Okay.
So suppose you say, okay, fine, this is the API request. So these
Hmm.
variables will then actually be picked up from the JSON variable. I'll show you another project where we did the automation, where we picked it up from the JSON side.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, like this is a probably a form, right? So when
Okay.
he inputs into that particular form and then he presses it, then the data will get into the tally.
So this dynamic ledger entry dot text. This is a script you'll be running in the system where Tally is running. Yeah.
No, sir. This will be running on the, yeah, on the client system. So I will give you a Python executable as I discussed.
Okay. So there won't be kind of a Tally patch or TDL TCP patch you're
No, in
providing.
this particular case, specifically for data insert, we will not be doing it. Because
Okay.
what will happen is we will make this Python code and then your team can also then maintain it.
Oh, okay. So you will be giving us a Python code, and we have to generate that JSON. We get the suppose we give the output as JSON. The JSON has to be converted to this XML.
It's a
I just
variable, sir. This is like it's going to be a variable. I'll show you various variations of this. So I'm getting into only the inserts, right? So when
okay.
I run it, suppose it's my local port, I'm running it. So basically, we have kept this sample code because so that people can see how it can be done. So suppose I say sample hyphen one. This is a web server. So I'm assuming that this is it. So I say next education 0403 2025 underscore 2, and ledger parent is sundry debtors, and I submit to tally. So the data has been submitted this thing. So when I get down to the tally, I go down to the ledger, right? And then I go down to shift tab and I say next education. You see this here under sundry debtors, it has gone. So here
No.
what I've done is I've used it as a web server.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah, yeah, understood.
So I'll be using only the XML, and for changes for any duplicate entries, then I'll be using the tally built-in function. So our role is to understand how the tally, because we are actually customers of tally. We have done a lot of integrations actually, extractions and integrations. So we know, okay, fine, what are the intricacies involved here? Is that clear? So
Okay,
I will
fine.
be simply taking the ledger copies. I'll be giving you the group and the ledger copies, and based on your JSON and database request, I'll be giving you a Python executable to be deployed at that end. So I'll be
Okay.
releasing it because this code is ready. So you can have it really, really fast. See, because the projects can take 1 month or 2 months also, but the project can also be done in 3 4 days or 1 week.
Okay.
So
So
since
if suppose in future or sometimes if our JSON response or JSON output is getting changed, right?
then you can
Uh,
change it.
the Python executive, we have to change it, right?
Yeah, Python executable, you'll be able to change it. So R would be an initial work we'll do with you, and then we will give you that code in this thing. Because why we say why we don't go with the TCP end is, so this is one portion. You're clear on this?
Yeah, yeah, understood. So this is understood.
Right. Now the case that comes is same is the case with the dynamic group entry. We'll make a Python code and then enter it into tally. Now the
Mm-hmm.
sample import, when we come down to the, so this is my dynamic voucher also. So I can enter a voucher also like this, right? Just 1 second. So because why I wanted to go through is because there are multiple approaches of insertion of data into tally and extraction of data into tally. So I wanted to discuss all of them with you, right? Before
Okay.
actually coming down to actually demo casing. But your case was very clear that you just wanted to start. So suppose I keep this here and then I click here. Oh, it's gone for the legend. I'll have to restart it or something like that. But you'll get a voucher here. This is actually the way the voucher will go.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
understood. That is for voucher. Yeah.
Right. This is for a voucher. Now the deal here is like we know the intricacies wherein all these things where the complications can come in. For example, if I look at this, right, when
Mm.
I'm importing at this thing. So,
Mm.
for example, we will need your surrogate key here, which is going to be fitting it into a remote ID,
Okay.
right, based on the voucher IP, because we don't want duplicates to come in.
Yeah, understood. This is voucher ID, right? Yeah. Mm.
So that surrogate key will be coming in. So it will not be master ID, it will be the surrogate key, and based on
Mm.
that we will fit it in.
Understood. So basically, the initial first level development and integration which you are talking about, does it cover all the
Wait, so I'll tell
uh,
you how this will come because this is a hierarchical database, right? So
yeah.
this is my voucher and this is I'm walking it by ledger. So your
Mm.
data has to be prepared, I think, in something in this way. So this will have to be slightly careful on, which I will show you one sample master data table, right? Because I'm going to go down to a relational database and see whether this thing, from there we can actually pick it up, Just wait a second.
So for it in a tally, right? So in the meantime, it launches in a tally, the ledgers or vouchers will be having multiple attributes, right? And they can create a custom attribute also in the tally. In the XML export, does all the attributes should be covered, or how is it?
No, okay, so I'm right now concentrating only on your import because you asked me to start only with the import first.
Mhm.
Because export is the standard free demo.
Okay.
So because that is what your team has signed up for, right? So the
Mhm.
data actually, what actually happens is, if I look at this particular data, right? So this is the format you can probably look at. My voucher date, voucher type name, right? The ledger name, master ID would be my remote ID. This is surrogate key. What is the ledger primary? Then this is the ledger amount. Now anything to do with the sales or purchase, then the item movements have to be coming along with it. So say
No.
5309 is this and this plus this plus this plus this.
Okay.
Are you getting it? So
Yeah.
7013 is this plus this.
Line item. Yeah.
Okay. Now I don't know whether you have bills or batch or so forth. So bills and batch can be. So 3627 can be this plus this. This is any batch. Are you getting it?
Yeah, understood. This is what the sale, right?
Right.
Uh,
And then the
Invoice.
associated bill with me with the sundry creditor or sundry debtor.
Okay, understood. So this is the format. If we get the output in this format, we
If
can
we can
easily.
get it, then what we can do is we can straight away plug it in. And this
Mhm.
remote ID would be your surrogate key, and then we'll plug it in here directly, and then we should be through. Else we'll have to do some custom SQL coding. This is if you want to keep the solution in the Python code at your end, because we recommend XML format.
Okay.
So this is the same way as which the other large SaaS companies are doing it.
Mhm. Which companies?
There are a lot of SaaS companies. You know, like, have you heard of Khatabook, Biz Analyst? That is the most popular. Then
Okay.
Threadflow is there. That's also a very good software. Live keeping is also very good.
Mm.
They're doing
Yeah,
the
great.
same thing, right? Because, but
Okay.
the thing here is they have been in the business for about 8 to 10 years now. They have
Mm.
invested billions of rupees. They're like
Yeah.
very well funded. So how does a company get a API done very very quickly at a lower cost? That's where we come in because we understand the XML and the this thing. So we actually studied their best practices, understood what they have done, and tried to replicate at our end.
Okay. So you will be giving the Python executable, and if you want any changes, we can do on our own. This Python executable will be running in the client machine wherever
It will be
Tally is.
running at the client machine. Now the case that will come here is,
Mm.
see, like right now I've linked up with the file path,
Mm.
right? Now for the linking it up with database, so you can have, you might say that okay, fine, you will keep your database port open.
Mm.
In that case, we link up directly with your using the Python executable with your database. You understand from where I'm coming?
Yeah, yeah, understood, understood. From the client machine.
Alternatively, we'll have to pick it up from the API, JSON API, and then run the Python.
Mm. Directly from the database endpoint, we can. Mm.
That is your call.
That is ODBC called, right? Or is what you
Right. So
call?
suppose I say,
Mm.
say I pick this up. So like this is a connection string with the database. Then we'll fetch it all, then put it up into a dictionary, and then pick it up here. Are you getting
Mm.
from where I'm coming?
Yeah.
So we'll connect it with the database here. So you'll have to open your database port. That is your call.
Okay.
And this custom query you have written, it's like depending on our table
That will be
structure.
on your case. Na? So because I don't know your database, so it will be depending
Yeah.
upon how your case. So this I done to post the data. So I'm showing it to, because my original, actually your requirement has been changed. So I'm showing it to you ad hoc. And if you give a JSON API, then it will be slightly different. So JSON API would be something like this. So this is an API request. You'll give me a URL, a token, a start date and an end date. Then we'll get the JSON output as a parameter, right?
Mm.
And then from that JSON output as a parameter, we will pick up whatever is there in the JSON and then try and fit it into that XML request.
Okay. So let's say in hierarchy, we have 3 groups and we are adding a new group there. So in that case, we have to go back to you to do the changes, or
Yeah, group
we'll
and the
do it.
parent is going to come. So this is where that initial demo is very important. That how exactly Tally works, how it is this thing. So that is where you had actually booked for. So I've come straight to the point. Actually, this was not a sales session. Your team, you asked me straight away, how would you do it? So I'm showing it. But actually, the initial one was how to understand how Tally XML API works. Because that is going to solve 50. So actually, you might use that depends because this is where Tally has released everything on its XML
Mm.
and ODBC. So that is why the whole purpose was. So what we ask various customers is understand this XML and ODBC API before getting into any development. Are you getting
Okay.
from where I'm coming?
Understood. So,
Because this will
so
save you months on end on time. Because otherwise, data insertion, data extraction, someone will say, we have had cases wherein companies have come and they have extracted through ODBC also. That's
mm,
not wrong. Tally is giving an ODBC output. The developer went, he said, no, ODBC it's giving. But after some time, the management started saying the details are not complete. We're getting stuck. And then they get caught in that big loop because the developers have already developed the code. Then there is, a pushback that we don't want to accept anything new. Then they're trying to remodify it. The cost simply goes up. So my first recommendation is because we can do it anyway. So now you will know that using Python, we'll get the data from JSON or this thing. We will insert it. We will work with you and we'll give you the Python executable and you can deploy it across multiple customers. That's a given done deal.
okay. Yeah, understood. This is technical part we understood. So basically, this Python executable will be running in the client machine,
Now,
and we will be.
why we
Yes.
yes sir, you asked me on that why Python and not Java, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
actually why we did not pick up Java was because Python has ready-made libraries.
understood.
So for example, I do not have to worry on PyODBC. That library is there. So
Mm,
primarily you will be using importing requests because it's going to be a API request, PyODBC, importing JSON, and then other things. There are 8 to 10 other libraries which will be there,
okay.
which I will tell you. But primarily requests and PyODBC would be there. I think so.
So how about the reversal, right? The other way, how it works? Tally to ERP server.
Yeah, so that's where the initial demo is because getting the data from Tally to your machine is also
Mm,
very critical because the client will have his own method of doing it.
mm,
So Tally basically exports the data from using either XML reports or ODBC. So
correct.
XML and ODBC, sir, what happens is, see, this is my schema. So you
Mm,
have to understand Tally is not a relational database. It's a hierarchical database
okay. Yeah.
over
Okay.
which there is an object oriented programming framework. That is where the entire trick is coming because that's very, very complex because there are very few softwares on hierarchical database. So
Mm-hmm.
basically the difference between a hierarchical and a relational database is that a relational module, a child can have multiple parents.
Mm,
But in a hierarchical database, what can happen is that a child will have only one parent.
mm,
So there will be a lot of duplication. It's denormalized. It's breaking the first normal form also.
yes.
Over which they have made an object oriented programming system. So like Python is there, they have made their own language.
Yeah, TDL, right?
Right. So that's what is the basic difference which is there. So some companies they decide after this session they decide to do it themselves, which is perfectly fine. Some people want results very fast, then they come to us.
Mm.
Because some companies say no, we'll take 6 months, we don't have a problem. It's not a high priority thing for us. But for some companies, you have to get the job done, get the product out. So then they say, no, quickly understand it, how it works, get the first module out.
Mm.
Right? So XML is your ready reports. Right? So XML, so over that particular software, as you would know, they have made some reports. Like you would have made it over Java, this thing. So these reports are then exported through XML. Is that point clear?
Yeah, okay, fine. TDL, okay.
Right. So there will be large number of reports. Tally is a very sophisticated software. There are large number of reports. Now, sir, here comes the technical portion. ODBC will only give you snapshots.
Mm.
And there is no detail below the second hierarchy. That means it will not give you bill history, batch history wise details. So now only the snapshots is also adequate for many companies. But a lot of companies they need the complete voucher details. Then the ODBC system break. In our case, it broke. We were not able to get the complete voucher details using the ODBC. So actually, we did not go forward. So we had to look at other ways.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
understood.
Now, sir, in the XML, sir, you'll have to understand that like in a software in Java, there are variables. So here in XML, there are also variables. SV from date, SV current company, and SV to date. So now
Mm-hmm.
how exactly to run the yes sir?
Yeah, proceed. Sorry.
Right. I mean, I'm telling you the most important portions here is that how exactly. So basically what I've given you all the details. You can go to this website. Please take your time on this. Right.
Mm.
And here, sir, on this particular side, you will see this Tally API. This site link I've given.
Yes,
In
yeah.
this site link, you will see a lot of videos here, what integrations are there. This is slightly technical. And then I've given you these demos. So you'll have to download these demos here. And when the
Understood.
demos, yes sir?
No, we already seen this one, I think.
Right. So when you download this demo, you will see something in the notes here.
Okay.
Is it clear? Now what
Yes.
happens is that you pick up this. So you say Control A, Control C. Now Tally, any Tally instance gives you a free tool for analyzing the Tally data called the Tally Prime Developer.
Mm.
So go here and click on Google Tally Prime Developer. Is it clear? Click here.
Okay. We have,
And do not download Tally. Go and click and install this module.
okay.
Is that clear? So
Okay.
this will give you the complete schema, up-to-date schema what Tally is doing. Clear? Now
Understood.
go to
So-
tools and go to Tally connector. It will work. And type in URL is localhost colon 9000. So basically what it is using is Tally is a web server. This is what I will also do. Right. So how to make it as a web server is you go to settings, you go to connectivity, you go to client and server integration, and this is both. So this no one will tell you. I'm just telling you because this is all there on the Tally side. But you might have to put 2 people for 2 to 3 months on end and just to understand what's happening. I'm giving it to you in one shot in 35 minutes. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Understood, sir. Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, this could have taken it because your team might have gone through multiple iterations also. So this, what happens is, this is localhost 9000. Is it clear? Now go here. And then copy this, Control C. Okay. And then this Control C and this is Control V here. Now I'll explain you how this XML request is going. In this Tally request, what I'm doing is I am exporting this data. Now I can export three different things, and this is very important for your software. I can export a report, I can export a collection, I can export an object, and I can export a tally function.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
When I want to export a report, I use something called a data. So this is my report which I'm exporting. So just follow it and copy it, and your team can actually do it also. Maybe your team can try it in Java. That is also possible. Right. But this code is all there. Right. And then
Okay.
simply press grow. So when you press grow, it is giving you the balance sheet.
Okay, balance sheet in the XML format. Okay.
That's what you needed, right?
Hmm.
So,
So, but this is running in the Tally Prime Developer application, right? How we can show it to the client?
no, it's not to the client. You needed the data to come to your server, right? So
Okay.
this data you will pick it up onto your machine. So you pick up this XML request and then take it to your machine. Now this
Okay.
will be an object, right?
Okay, understood.
And then you pick it up into your machine. Now you'll put it into your database. Not clear?
Understood, understood. So we have to have a Tally Prime Developer system, and in the client machine, the Tally instance has to be run as a server. So if it has to be internet connected, right? Right, sir?
No,
If
no,
you have to,
sir. This is so this tally client does not need the tally prime developer. You will simply give him the executable. For your understanding that how it works,
oh,
I'm telling it to you.
okay, understood, understood. Yeah,
This is
okay.
your code. You will use this code.
Yeah,
Is that clear?
yeah, understood, understood. Yeah,
Right, sir?
yeah.
Now I'll go a bit slow here. So this is how you do it. So you'll have lot of collections here. You can go through balance sheet, template, profit, collection, everything is there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pick up all these collections and actually check what all is tally exporting. So this is huge amount of information. Now listen to this portion very carefully because this is there. You see tally actually has a lot of shortcut keys.
Yes, correct.
For example, I go here D plus T, and then your accountant will say Alt F1. So this is this view. So this view is exported using this XML request, which is trial balance.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the thing which is where there was a gap is that if you press F5, you get all the ledger wise entries. That has not been exported. That is a separate extract.
Okay.
Is that clear? So I'm showing
Yeah.
you the F5. And then if you press F4, so then you get individual groups because this is giving you everything, group and ledger, everything here. So if I press Alt F4, sorry, F4, so I can choose one particular group, right?
Okay.
Similarly, if I press Alt F3, I can choose one particular company.
Okay.
Now your client can have unlimited number of companies. So Tally will extract only for one company, SV current company.
Correct.
So I'm not saying it, you can test it out at your end. Take your own sweet time, you can test it out at your end. Right? Okay, and similarly changing the period is Alt F2. So actually, sir, why people come to us is they want to automate these shortcut keys for Tally report export. Alt F2, Alt F3, F4, F5, F6 monthly, and then the configuration within the daybook. So this is also a problem, right? Yes, I want to have it. Yes, show net transactions. Yes. So F12 is not there. F12 is there. Sorry, F12 is there. Opening balance, transactions, and closing balance is there. Percentages are not there. But people want everything in one go. Clear?
Any detail drill down. Yes, understood, sir. Yeah.
Right, so I need to be very, this thing is there. Similarly, if I go down here and if I click on balance sheet, sorry, then again Alt F1 is this XML output will give you this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, sir, what happens is that suppose your client says, I want all my required vouchers to come. And I want all my sales vouchers to come. I don't really care about the others, but I want all the sales vouchers to come. That's a basic requirement, right? So I go here, I press P, I pick up my sales account, then I pick up my group summary, right? Or Alt F3, then Alt F2 is here, go down, and then you hit here, which is my ledger vouchers. This is different from the report, which is voucher register. This is actually giving you how the sales number is coming. So based on SV from and SV to date, based on the individual ledger account, you're getting the sales entries. So suppose there are 500 such sales accounts, you'll have to hit this report 500 times.
Yes. What? Okay, but in a single go we can't do it, huh? 500.
Wait. So that's what I'm trying to tell you is that is where we face the complications. So the XML request for this is here. You can try it out at your end also.
Okay.
So you can pick this up. You can say Control A, delete, Control V. Now here how to adjust it is, I'm exporting this report ledger vouchers. Because I'm assuming there'll be no custom collections. We'll be using it built in, whatever are the reports, right? Otherwise custom collections, you have to do a complete data audit. Then my ledger name, which is the parameterized variable, is civil interior work. Correct?
Yes.
And I come down here and this is where I set up from which date to which date. Is it clear?
Yeah.
And then I say go. So when I go, I'm getting the complete set of sales details. Now, be very, very careful where the other people are, where many companies have this issue and where they have a problem, because sometimes they do all the work and the sales number is not matching. And I'll tell you where the developers make a mistake. The developers are making a mistake. What they do is sales voucher. Okay, so they have a preliminary understanding. They go down to D plus A plus S. They pick up the sales register. No, this is not your complete sales number. Your sales can have credit notes, your sales can have debit notes, your sales can have journal entries, it can have anything. You don't need to show profit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. However, in case you want to go through only the voucher register, your team is this thing, you can also this thing, Control A, Control C. Go down here, pick this up here. Control A, delete, Control V. And here what you do is, your team will just do it is, that you remove this and take the voucher type as sale. That is also possible. You'll get the complete voucher register.
Okay.
Clear? Now this voucher register can take a lot of time and a lot of load. So this is sample company and here you can extract it. Why? Because parent child, because it's a tree.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
Is it clear? That's this thing. So in that particular case, what the other companies have done is they have extracted is day by day.
Okay.
That is also possible. So we keep an SV from and SV to date as a variable, set it up and extract it day by day. Clear?
Yeah.
Right. So I've come to the next portion, sir, which is this here. Now, they can be a repeat variable. So now giving, say, the profit and loss over periods in time. Suppose they say, no, I want my monthly profit and loss, month by month, quarter by quarter. That is what a typical problem was. So there I pick it up as profit and loss. So here you have to use repeat set. Now what happened with this repeat set is, you can do it this way, but this becomes static. Right? So what we had to do was that we extracted for one set of date, then we extracted for the second set of date in the second lot, then we extracted in the third set of date in the third lot, and then do a join at the database. Because otherwise the XML does not, out of this XML you do not know which period is there. It's not giving the period actually.
Okay. So okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Please proceed. Proceed.
Alternatively, you can say, okay, fine, I'll hard code it, and then, because you might have a case wherein you need to have a repeat variable also over periods in time. So profit and loss, trial balance and balance sheet, we normally do prefer an XML output only. Because sir, we don't want to take a risk. Yes. Although we have deciphered it, how it works, but even if 1 rupee is different, their client will start raising support issues. It's clear?
Yeah, I understood, sir. Yeah.
Right. So that is the second point, which I've covered it up for you. Right. Now, sir, so what are the limitations to the XML? One is it will extract only single company. Your client can have multiple companies. For parameterized reports, you can have multiple hits. It's a top-down approach. Slow speed of extraction of daybook. So specifically, daybook has all the data. But daybook has got compound data objects which are very difficult to handle. But I'll show you how to do the daybook is, you go down here, right, and simply click daybook here. Right. Just wait a second. But we can also make custom collections for you. That's what I'm trying to say. So in case it's required, we can make custom collections and then export the data also. So I'll explain you where the custom UDFs and all will come. Right. A second. So I pick this up here, Control A, Control C. Right. Control A, delete, Control V. Daybook. And I go here. So this is my daybook.
The entire vouchers of daybook will come.
Yeah, daybook has everything, masters, transactions, everything.
Without date filter.
Without any filter. So you can put the filter SV from date, SV to date. That we will put it up based on your requirement. Suppose you say, look, Apoorv, we want to go ahead only with the daybook extract posted and we are fine with it. It can be possible, right? That if I give you this, you are able to handle it. You might say, no, Apoorv, I need the trial balance, the profit and loss, the balance sheet, the payable and receivable only from XML. I'll put it in embedded and then post it onto your site and you can handle it from there. That's also a possibility, right?
Yeah, correct.
Right. But in our particular case, what we found was that this thing and the trial balance was not fully extracted. So I showed you only it showed up to Alt F1, F3, F4 and other keys were not there. And there's a top-down approach. Correct. So in order to eliminate this dependence for export on these parameterized variables, basically Alt plus F2, Alt plus F3, F4, F5, F8 and F12. What we did was we made our JSON API, which is where I think you have come from, right? For unlimited companies, very fast extract. So fast extract, the parent child will take a lot of notes. So what we did was we did something different. We said we will break it. and then we'll do the join at the database level. Are you getting from where I'm coming?
Yeah, understood. Yeah, we can.
Right.
Uh,
So what we did was we break it. It does not have a subnode only. And then I did a join at the database level. That is also, so it worked very well for me because I'm now able to get the complete daybook. Right. And then I wanted the tally customizations to be added. Now the tally customizations we can add through the XML export.
okay.
Is it clear? By making
Yeah.
custom collections. So I'll show you one sample.
So just to give a heads up, we might not be needing this tally customization. Whatever assets available in tally, we might need to extract.
I do not know because suppose they want the GST detail, GST hierarchy details. I do not know how you want to see it, but that can be also added.
Okay.
Control V. And this is a custom collection which will go. You see this?
Yeah.
So here what's happened here is there's a custom collection which is of type voucher. I'm fetching this and these are the computed variables. So you can compute also. You can use tally for computing and getting other things. Now HSN details we will use get info from hierarchy. This built-in tally functions.
Understood. Yeah, okay.
So with this, sir, I come down to the end of my 45 minutes demo, sir, which is
Okay.
on how the extraction is this thing. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we understood, sir. So basically, the data extraction, right? If we give our requirement, you also will develop and give us a executable, right?
Right. So
Or
in case you have any tally, do you have any tally instance?
we have one tally instance running, yeah, in our office machine
So
should
what
be
I
there.
can do is I can give you a free JSON extract along with the Power BI module so that you can understand how the group hierarchy works.
Okay.
Because the
So for
group
that, you need to have a tally prime developer, right?
now you don't need that tally prime, but I would recommend that you keep the tally prime developer. So what I
Okay.
will give is I'll give you a free module right now. You can purchase it for 1K, right? 1,000 rupees, right? And and then what I will do is you can keep it because that will help your team in understanding how it works. So basically, you need to understand a group can be a parent to another group, another group, another group, another group. That you have to be very careful.
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
Uh,
that is the parent-child relationship between the groups. The F4 key is
mhm,
critical.
mhm.
Right, that is one thing. And then you also would need to know how the XML extract works. Right, so XML, how will it come? This thing. Basically, I'll tell you what is the trick which the other guys have adopted. They took the JSON extract and using the Power BI module. So, for example, something like this. Right. So the other companies with whose I think reference you are coming from, you must have seen some reference in the Google, right? So
Yeah.
what they did was they took this a Power BI module. This Power BI module is close to free for them, right? And
Okay.
then they were extracting it from multiple companies and understanding how the data is coming in XML as well as the JSON. And based on
Oh.
it, they had designed what is their API requirement. Are you getting
Mhm.
from where I'm coming?
Okay.
That's a quick trick way of doing that. That will help you speed up because until I do not know how it comes and what comes, then it's very difficult for me to design. Because from that flat table, you can easily decode what SQL query you need to write. See, you will not know. Na, the problem is this. For example, if you say, I want a ledger balance.
Okay.
So this is going to be So this is going to be, say for example, your tally balance sheet output. This is straight coming it through. If it is this thing, this is how the tally balance sheet is there. So
Hmm.
because your developer upfront does not have a visibility to it, so he can use the tally prime developer, but he can also understand from here. Oh, okay, fine, it'll come like this.
Oh, okay.
Now he can design it, but otherwise your developer needs visibility on how the group hierarchy works. So for example, see, it's good to know whether he uses it or not. What is a company name? What is an opening, closing, debit total, credit totals, and how does the group hierarchy work? You see, this group hierarchy is not very intuitive. You
Yeah.
can have 8 or this is the ledger name. So this you can understand. Okay, fine. Oh, how this is how the tally is structured. Are you understanding from where I'm coming?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is like this tool is directly connected to the tally.
Tally. So this is extracting the data from both JSON as well as from the XML output. So based on the JSON and the XML output, we can define this tool. Then based on that, your queries can be decided. Okay, fine. What queries you need to bring from your ERP for data insertion or from extraction, taking it to the cloud.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yeah, I understand.
Otherwise, for your developer, it's very difficult to understand how is the profit and loss coming. So here you'll know, okay, fine, Tally's default profit and loss is coming like this. Balance sheet is coming like this. As of now, he does not know how it is going. Then what else does he need? Right?
Okay. So to summarize this one, you will be for both the extraction and then the data push to Tally. You will be providing as a Python executable
Yes, sir.
file, and the
No,
source
sir.
code
For
also.
pushing it to pushing it from Tally to your machine, you just have to tell
Uh,
me if it's XML, we'll use Python. If it is JSON, we'll use straight TCP. Because
oh,
Tally
okay.
does not
And
export in JSON. It exports only in XML.
XML, okay. So if you need JSON means it has to be TCP one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the for pushing into Tally, you'll be giving us a Python executable which has to run in the client machine, and the source code will be shared with us
Yeah,
for
because
any
we'll
customer.
give it to you, then you can maintain it also.
Okay, either we can maintain it, or if we don't have time or if we don't have resource to do that one, we can come to you for help
Yeah, you
also.
can come to us because that will be open. Actually, why many companies, prefer our services is one is uh,
Mm.
because if they use a TCP, they don't know what is there inside it. It's a
Mm.
wrapped code, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now this is so what I'm with my TCP, I'm extracting only the raw data, but the business logic was actually within the
Mm.
Python in the Power BI. It was all open, so they knew exactly
Mm.
what is being coded. For
Okay.
example, how the daybook is there, so they know exactly. Okay, fine. Oh well, this is how it's come.
Okay. So is it like whom we should discuss on this commercials part, sir? Are you
Commercials,
any?
yeah, my free session comes to an end and we do the proof of concept. If you have Tally, we extract it, and
Uh-huh.
then, sir, you will have to take a call on whether you want to do the XML route, ODBC route. I can even do it through ODBC, frankly. For me, connecting it
Okay.
through default Tally collections is not a problem.
Okay.
Right. Or
Uh,
through the JSON route. JSON route is only when you want to have unlimited number of companies.
uh,
You
yeah.
want to have very fast extract. You don't
Mm.
want to depend on parameterized because like sir, when we approached it from analytic purposes, so just think from a customer's angle. If I'm doing it from an analytics purposes, what is the first question I'll ask a person? One is I'll ask you what is my trial balance and balance sheet by group.
Yeah.
But the second thing which I'll ask is any person will ask is what is my sales number? Can you explain me my sales number and what's my gross profit?
Mm.
So for getting the sales number, it's a parameterized report. If I have 100 sales accounts, I have to hit it 100 times. We got stuck at that. So we did not go ahead with the XML route beyond a certain point, because we knew that, okay, fine, we have to decipher this ledger vouchers report instead of the voucher register report, which is here. You see this?
Mm.
A, then S, then here. This is a voucher register report, which is a separate report. So my team members, when we had started initially, we said sales. Okay, fine. We'll pick up say voucher register sales. And then we got stuck, because then you had credit notes also. Now credit note can be with the purchase as well as with the sale. So we had a lot of problems. Then one of my boys said, no, sir, let us understand how Tally is calculating the profit and loss account. So he went here, and then he went here, then he went here, and then he said, oh God, this is a ledger vouchers report, it's not voucher register, and we have to input the sales account. He understood it from that angle. And then we went and deciphered how that sales number is coming. Are you getting it? Now our numbers are perfect. Then we made it from there, and now our numbers are perfect. So first step could be doing a small POC for you, extra, because so that then say your team will understand how it is, what are the fields that are there in Tally. What is a void voucher? What is an optional voucher? What is a deleted voucher? What is a cancelled voucher? Tally can have an invoiced voucher. It can also have an optional voucher.
Okay, understood. Okay. So after the POC, so mostly from our side, it will be on JSON only, sir.
Yes, sir. Please give it a thought, because this was a free session. This was not supposed to be a sales session at all. So this is because this knowledge no one else is giving in the market.
Yeah. You had a better idea, yes.
Because now your team will have a recording of it. No one else is giving. I've given you my website link also. You can also pick up the Tally website link and cross-check with yourself. That, okay, fine, is this guy saying it correctly? But this is what our understanding was. So type Tally Google and go to Tally here. Your team can easily check. It will give you two methods, XML and odbc, and how the XML interface is there. And this is, we found to be very complex.
Okay.
We didn't think it was easy. It's not intuitive.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we try. We have gone through some time back. We're not able to get much out of it. I think
no, it is not easy. It is very tricky. I mean, they have given the code and all, so they have even given the use case. But we found it like they've given it a front end application. But for us to decipher it, we had to go through the implementation. Everything is there. They've given it, but we found it really tough.
Okay, yeah.
Means we found it tough. I mean, it was because you have to understand Tally also. They're talking in their terms. Collection attributes are there. So if you the one does not understand the Tally functionality, this is very tough.
Yes.
It's not an easy job. So your team can check it up, and then we can make it up. So I will be then for data insertion, then you have to take a call whether it's going to be direct odbc or JSON API, and then we plug it into the Python code. I have the ledger and the voucher modules are ready. Which all vouchers are going to be there? The ledger and the group, I need clarity. So that you can, if you want to do the POC, I will show it to you. Otherwise, I will simply go by what you say and insert it into Tally.
Okay, sir, understood. Yeah. So I will confirm. I will talk to my manager, and then we will decide on the call, and then we for next POC call, right? We can schedule follow with the same mail, right?
Do you have Tally with you?
We have Tally. Instance.
No, do you have it right now?
Right now, no, sir. I'm in the.
So just if you have it, whenever you have Tally, I'll quickly do. So that's your team will understand what is there in Tally.
Okay, you need a